Hi, this is Shelley Kraft. We're coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the Cambridge House Vancouver Resource Investment Conference 2014 right here in Vancouver. I have with me Richard Carleton, CSE, the Canadian Securities Exchange. It's a private company. Richard, welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you very much, Shelley. It's a pleasure to be here with you in Vancouver.
It's good to have you. Let me tell you, I want to first get an overview of the exchange for our viewers, so please tell us.
Canadian Securities Exchange is approximately 10 years old. We are a recognized stock exchange headquartered in Toronto with offices in Vancouver and a presence in Calgary and Montreal. We primarily cater to early stage companies in Canada.
So how many companies approximately?
Approximately 209 as of this morning, Shelley.
Well, you got a couple of new listings today?
A couple of new ones late last week, yes.
That's fantastic. Now, what is the makeup of those, the listed members?
It approximates the public capital markets in Canada. About half of the companies are mining and oil and gas. About 20% are in the technology space, 15% in biopharm and biotech, and then the remainder are a collection of different businesses that are looking for public capital.
So many people know who your competition is. Why would a company list on your exchange as opposed to another Canadian exchange?
Our secret sauce is in the listing model. We look at a company's record of disclosure and focus on continuous disclosure. What we don't do as an organization is second-guess company management on their business decisions that they're making in connection with the to-be newly public company. What that translates into is substantially faster time to market. We benchmark from the application process to public listing 20 business days. That's substantially faster than for other alternatives in North America. And again, with that different approach, it means that we have a substantially lower staff complement. The lower costs can be passed along to the companies in the form of lower fees for both getting public and sustaining on the exchange.
Now, we all know that liquidity, distribution, access to markets, being able to get more investors to see what's going on, openness, are all important ingredients in listing on any exchange. How would you say you fit in that mold?
Well, that's something that has been a focus of our efforts for the full 10 years that we've been in operation. For professional investors, our real-time market data is available on all of the professional investing services, Thomson Reuters, Bloomberg, Interactive Data, and so on. For retail investors, real-time data is available on the Google Finance platform, and that's a channel with other similar websites we're looking to expand in the coming years. As well, we have a growing complement of discount brokers that have direct access to the platform. And we do a lot of work with third parties to assist our companies in telling their story to the investment community, both private and professional.
How do you draw in American investors to the listed companies on the CSE?
Well, the first thing is we want to have stories that are compelling to the U.S. investment community. Talking beforehand, I was mentioning that we have a number of U.S. domiciled businesses that have taken advantage of the lower costs and the lower risk profile of being a public company in Canada. And expanding our access to the U.S. retail community is a real focus of our efforts in the coming months. We're not quite there yet. Certainly through the full service community, whether you're talking about a Merrill Lynch, a Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, and so on, they all have direct access to our marketplace. But as I say, expanding opportunities for retail investors to participate is something that we're going to be focusing on in the next couple of quarters.
So how do, I'm sorry, I have so many questions. I could make this a very long interview. On some of the other exchanges listed around the world, you see a lot of ETF activity taking traffic. How do you compete with that?
Well, ETFs is something that we're open to having. We're not restricted simply to common shares. We currently have convertible debentures, we have government bonds, we have structured products sponsored by some of the largest financial institutions in the world, BAML, Barclays, and Credit Suisse. And we're working with a couple of parties to expand the ETF offering in the coming months.
What's your background?
I am a reformed
Started yesterday, right?
Exactly. I'm a reformed lawyer, and my background is I grew up with the other exchange group in Canada, but I've worked with a number of organizations in North America on business development and structured products and quantitative finance and risk management and so on over the course of the number of years.
So usually need is the father of invention. Why did you start this exchange even 10 years ago? And as part B of that question, where do you see the exchange going in 2015?
Well, the venture capital market in Canada was evolving a lot about 10 years ago. The TSX was in the process of acquiring the Vancouver and Alberta exchanges. And there were concerns, I will admit, in the industry that costs were going to increase and that friction in getting a public listing was also going to increase. So the original founders of our organization decided to put together an exchange that had the regulatory approach that I talked about earlier that genuinely focuses on lowering the cost of public capital for entrepreneurs.
I love it. And in 2015, where do you think the company goes?
We benchmark our success in a variety of ways, but we're looking to obviously increase quite dramatically the number of companies that are listed on our organization. And if we can, again, continue to demonstrate that we deliver a lower cost of capital to entrepreneurs looking to access the public markets in Canada, then I'd say it's a job well done.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you a website now to check out the CSE.
www.thecsc.com.
One more time.
www.thecsc.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Carleton, CSE, the Canadian Securities Exchange, a private company. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive. We're at Cambridge House in Vancouver, which is the Resource Investment Conference 2014. Richard, thanks for coming on to SNNLive.
Thank you very much, Shelley. Pleasure.
Good to have you.